Hello, everybody. I'm Brian,
I'm Brian.
and this is Brian versus Brian, episode 165. The creator, not Tyler, just the creator. Um, yeah. So this is a Gareth Edwards original, directed and written. Wrote it with Chris Weitz. They
Whites?
never write it. They never
Yeah.
really write him alone unless you're what's his name? Terminator guy.
Oh, Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron. He's like the only guy I know that like writes everything alone.
Hmm.
I don't need any help. um, budget 80 million, box office 5.6 million. It's it's kind of slow right now. I've
Yeah.
heard, marketing was low because of the all the strikes and stuff and uh Paw Patrol is kind of
Yeah.
killing it. I went to the theater and it was kind of busy. And then I get in there and I went to a 7:30 showing, so it's kind of late. And just a bunch of kids with Paw Patrol buckets and stuff. I was like, oh, they're all here for Paw Patrol. Yeah, right on. It's a-
And Saw X. I saw that Saw X, I think, made more money than the creator did. I was like, damn.
I
I
do
guess
want to
it's
see
like
that too.
October-ish. Yeah. Go see your Saw movie. Yeah.
I stopped those at about two or three, so I'd
Yeah. I
like
think
to
I've
go
only
through
seen
and
the
watch them
first
all.
three. Yeah.
Want to play a game? I like that poster with the tubes on the eyes. There's two
Yeah.
rats about to eat your eyes. What will you do?
Oh my God.
I like how this guy was dying of cancer and he's still fucking he's just around. I didn't die.
Yeah.
Now I'm just take delight almost and torturing people.
I like the story of it though. I mean I didn't when Saw X was announced, I was like, okay, whatever. They've been making this so long, I don't care. And then I saw somebody describe what the movie is. I don't know if you know. I don't know if it's in the trailer. I haven't watched it, but it's like between. Is it between one and two or before one? But he's like going in to get his treatment, and the doctors like fuck him over. And because they fucked him over, they become the victims. So it, like spawns this his whole thing. It's like an origin story for Jigsaw. It's like how he got
Huh.
started. So he like
Yeah,
tortures these
I didn't
doctors that
know it
fucked
was
him over.
origin.
So he's like the protagonist of the movie. Like that's kind of interesting.
Hmm. Well, this Gareth Edwards, so he did Godzilla, the good one,
Hmm.
2014. That one's really good. Sequels and all that shit are kind of whack.
Yeah.
I think there's only one sequel and then the fighting one, right? There's a
Kong,
second
yeah,
Godzilla and then the Kong one.
yeah. Godzilla, World of Monsters, King of Monsters, or something, and then there was
Yeah.
Kong versus Godzilla.
All of a sudden, Bryan Cranston's gone. Hey, we
Hmm.
don't need him. Yeah, wasn't very good. And then he also did Rogue One, of course. So he's got a pretty cool pedigree here. And he wanted to do an original science fiction movie. And this is what we got, citing references to Apocalypse Now,
Hmm.
Baraka, Blade Runner. I see a lot of Blade Runner in it.
Totally.
Akira, I see a lot of Akira in it. Rain Man, I don't know where the Rain Man comes from, but yeah, AI, definitely AI. The Hit, and E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and Paper Moon. Uh, what do we have here? The Yeah, it started in like 2019, signed on to direct untitled science fiction project for New Regency, along with Edwards' Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So did he write Rogue One?
Yeah, him and the guy who wrote this, they co-wrote that
Huh,
together too.
right on. Usually they don't let you do too much writing in the Star Wars universe, so that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's uh starts off, I like the freaking 1950s newsreel.
Yeah.
Uh, AI now. AI has become a large part of our lives, helping us cook, clean, and do just about any task faster,
Hmm.
better, and more efficient than before. It's got these robots doing dishes and stuff, taking care of the children and all this. And that was a little weird, though. I was like, okay, well, uh, does this go with this movie?
Yeah.
It worked. It worked somehow. It was kind of fun. Um, but AI, of course, everyone knows, like Terminator launched a nuke against us, and it hit LA, and I don't know when some year, and they've been in a war ever since. But China and like a couple Asian countries have formed a union, the Asian Union or something, and they support AI, and they are harboring all these. They're not called replicants, are they? Or simulants, or what the fuck
Simulants,
are they
yeah,
called?
I think it was simulants. Yeah, they're
And
basically
yeah,
they're not at war with robots. I think America is the only country that's declared war. At least that's what I got out of it.
so we're trying to hunt all of them down, all of Blade Runner, and they still have them work there and all this crap. And so we're in the midst of a war, and we built this ridiculous floating weapon. What the hell do they call that thing?
Nomad, I think.
The Nomad.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it just flies around and destroys shit. And it has this weird light it shines down, which is visually cool, but that's at the time I'm like, it's like shining down and shooting missiles. I'm like, you could just shoot the missile. I feel like
yeah,
you're above it. You don't need this super super targeting system when you're just hovering right above something. You
right.
know, makes more sense if you're really far away, but it looks cool because it's always projecting this big blue like thing
Yeah,
over
it's
the ground, and it kind of morphs over
yeah, like
landscape.
yeah, rotates and yeah, I think visually that's one of my favorite parts, just from a visual standpoint, because it's kind of ominous. Like when you see that, like from the perspective of someone on the ground, you see this fucking hologram coming towards the village you live in. It's just like, oh my god. But yeah, that's a
Yeah,
cool idea.
once it locks on you, you're fucked.
Hmm.
Like a couple times it happens in the movie, like one of those robots is, no, no, it locks
Yeah.
onto him and he has to run away from the children, blow up. So it was in 2050, artificial intelligence created by the U.S. government detonates a nuclear warhead over Los Angeles, California. U.S. and its Western allies pledged to eradicate AI from the Earth. Their efforts are resisted by New Asia, a country in Southeast Asia whose people continue to embrace AI despite outcry from the West. U.S. military launches an extensive military campaign. So we start off with our main character, whose name I'm forgetting,
Joshua.
Joshua, and he's played by Washington, the guy from Tenet.
Hmm.
It's the only other thing I've really seen him in. Yeah, John David Washington, and he is like married to this lady, uh, Maya. Yeah, Maya,
My yeah.
and they're working with robots, and it's got the Ken Watanabe as Haran, and he's like the main kind of simulant that we'll see throughout it. And they're working together, and like all of a sudden that big thing flies over, and it's like it's scanning. Oh no, they're here! They have found us, and they're getting hunted down. And then during part of it, you see Joshua on the phone, and he's like, "Well, you're gonna blow my cover. What are you doing?" He's not here. What's the name of the Nirmata? The U.S. is looking for. In the beginning, it has a little quote like Nirmata, and then it says what it means, and it's like the mystical creator of all AI, revered as a god, and some other stuff by simulants,
Hmm.
right? And so that's who they're looking for. Um, and he says, "No, he's not here. I'm about to get you to him. You're blowing my cover." And then his wife, Maya, is at the bottom of the stairs, and oh shit, she heard me. And so he's like an undercover agent, but she's pregnant with his kid, and like they're in love and married. And so she like leaves, right? Does she shoot him?
She
No,
has him
she
at
just has him at
gunpoint, yeah.
gunpoint.
Yeah, and then she decides not to, and she just kind of runs out and runs away while there's like a battle happening outside.
Yeah, and they all get on boats. It's like, come on, dude. But you thought and they're like these they're like future rickshaw boats,
Yeah.
almost like Blade Runner, where the Chinese restaurant boat.
Hmm.
It's like a floater, but it's like old Chinese boat, so slow. That's kind of like what these are, but they're actually on water. I think they levitate over the water, but they're like really slow sailboat type things, and they're like get trying to get away when they know the damn uh the floating fucking thing. It's like
Yeah,
shooting blue
can
light down,
pinpoint them.
and
Yeah,
it just obliterates all the boats. And then so what? He wakes up, I think, after that, right? Some years later. I think
yeah,
it says
5
5 years later.
years. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the opening, if I remember right, the opening was 2065. So then the rest of the movie, I think it said 5 years later. So the rest of the movie takes place in 2070.
Yeah. Uh, and so they come to him saying they found Nirmata, and they want him to join. I don't really remember why he needs to specifically.
I think it's
Oh,
because it's
because
in the same area that he was undercover. Like they found some sort of underground, lab or something in the
yeah,
area that he was undercover. But and also they have a hologram evidence that Maya's alive. So that's kind of the catalyst that because he's like, "Fuck you! I lost my wife. I lost all this shit. I ain't. I don't give a fuck." And they're like, "Oh, well, I got one more
Maya's
thing for you."
Maya's dead. What if I told you she might not be? This footage was taken 2 days ago
Hmm.
by hologram satellites.
It can't be. So yeah, that's what gets them to go, and then I think we just smash cut right into the spaceship with all the soldiers, and they're kind of getting ready for the raid.
Yeah, and they send like this really bullshit crew. It's like what, 6 people
Yeah,
in this giant facility, and they go down. And it's like this. Oh, it's like, oh, they're wrong. There's no facility here. It's just a fucking farming town. It's just a bunch of farmers. Like, what the fuck happened? What happened to the city? Like putting
hmm
guns in the farmers' faces.
and the
And
dog. They put the
oh
gun
yeah,
to the
yeah,
dog. I'm like, oh man, come on.
yeah. There's a little family, and he's like, "Is this your dog?" It's like a little Asian girl. He's like, "You want to fucking kill this dog?"
Yeah.
No, Bayada! They're all speaking Chinese, and they got this translating box. Like, no, we are poor farmers. No one is
Hmm.
here. And all this kind of shit. That's bullshit. And what did what's his name? Joshua. During all of this, he seems perturbed by the dog being
Yeah.
having a gun, but he doesn't say anything. He's just like, well, I'm gonna hurry up and find where it is so he doesn't hurt the dog.
Yeah.
Rather than say, hey man, dog didn't do anything, man. He goes over this like Resident Evil shrine. It reminded me of a shrine in like Resident Evil Village.
Yeah,
Remember those
totally.
ones? They could turn the
Do the puzzle.
yeah.
You check my notes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then fucking thing opens in the ground. I can't, it's like, oh, is this a fucking farm, bitch? Like throws the dog or something. So they go in there and it's strange to me. There's like no ladder down in there, so they're like rappelling, and it's like a big ass, like 20 feet down. I was like, damn, how are they gonna get out? And they gotta like leave one person up there to guard like the hundreds of villagers
Oh yeah, yeah,
while the
yeah.
while the like 5 people go in. And I was like, dude, this is the wrong size crew for this. And they get
Hmm.
in there, and it's like just like a fucking airplane warehouse, dude. It's like, how are you gonna
Huge.
cover this much ground with the 5 dudes?
Yeah.
And then they're going around, and it almost reminded me of like the basement in They Clone Tyrone.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
totally.
just
Just a bunch
yeah,
of
right.
scientists running around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just doing their own thing, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
they just
Just
start
murdering
shooting
everybody.
everybody. And you can tell he's kind of perturbed by that, the Joshua guy. He's like, I thought we were here to get robots, and like,
Yeah.
these are all humans, and they're all shooting the shit out of them. And there's this one scene where they shoot this guy, and then there's like a couple Asian scientists with them, and then they shut a door between the soldier and them. And it's like, open that fucking door, and they're all helping screaming and helping the shot guy on the ground. And they have the translator box, and it's like, make love to your mother,
Oh yeah.
make love to your mother.
Yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Make love to your mother, make love to yourself.
Make love to yourself. You'll never get in. You'll never get in. That was pretty good. Um, yeah, and then there's like then the police start to show up outside, and we got the lady who kind of orchestrated the whole thing. What the fuck was she from?
I just remember her being Juno's mom. Remember that movie Juno in like the early 2000s? That's the only thing
Yeah,
she's been in a lot of things, but that's the first thing that came to mind.
yeah. Anyways, her um the cops come and they're all robots. You
Hmm.
know, got the big heads and they talk, but and they talk and their jaw moves. They have this little robot mandible. I was like, that didn't make sense to me. It's like, well, why do you have to have a jaw? You're not a simulant.
Yeah.
You're just a you could just speak. We don't need your mouth to open. It's fine. I thought that was weird. Freeze, you're under arrest.
Just have a Bose speaker that has a nice
Yeah.
bass, some good treble, and you're good.
It's just got some cool like equalizer shit. And that doesn't compute. Uh yeah, so they're shooting her. I'm gonna need backup now. Well, we only brought 5 fucking people and we're all down here with the hundreds of bad guys. So maybe we should have thought of this. Um she's getting fucked up. I think there's another guy that gets fucked up at the village. Um yeah, then they're like Josh was like, I think I found the room. It's a giant fucking door. It's very
Yeah.
sealed. It's very, very nice. They're like, well, the weapon's got to be in there. Oh, yeah, because they're going to get the ultimate weapon, right?
Yeah.
Nirmata, I guess, has created an ultimate weapon that would end the war for the robots, and humankind will be ruined forever, will be extinct. That's the whole purpose of all this. Not just to find Nirmata anymore, but to get this weapon. Um, and I don't remember how does he get into that door?
They're like, I don't, like when they're at the door, there's lot of radio chatter, and so the leader of the crew, I don't remember his name. I'm looking at IMDb. His name is McBride, but he's like the bearded, disheveled guy. And he's like, "Hey, the three of us are gonna go up there for backup. You two stay here." And one of those guys that stays with Joshua is already hacking that door. He has like a little device that he like plugs
Oh
into
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing, and it's like running through the numbers. And then the guy leaves for some reason. He's like, "I gotta go do something," but he's like, "But don't go in there without me." And so he leaves. Now Joshua's sitting there, and the numbers connect, and then the door opens, and
yep.
then that's when we get Joshua going in.
And we get him going into a giant, like empty, cold metal room, but in the center of the room, there's like a little uh old CRT like TV and
Hmm.
like some other accoutrements like snacks, a couple fruit roll-ups,
Yeah,
a
toys on
stuffed
the ground.
animal.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then like a little blanket that someone's sitting on, like a child, and he comes up and it's a simulant child. And he seems off put by this. And we don't know till a little bit later, but they don't make children and they couldn't for some reason and never have. But this one's a child and it's watching TV. And from what I remember, he just picks her up and leaves.
yeah. I think there's a scientist that just coincidentally happens to be in the room. She's like covered in blood. She shoots Joshua, and then she's like, "Hey,
Oh yeah,
go
yeah.
to Armada." And then like there's a hatch that opens, and there's a ladder, and then I think Alfie goes up by herself, and the doctor just walks, just runs away, doesn't do anything else, just shows up to shoot him and walk away. And then I think Joshua at that point tries to chase her down. And then I think when he gets up, oh yeah, during this whole time they're like, "Oh, we got Nomad's gonna blow up the village, blow up the base, and we can't stop it because we lost communication." So there's like this ticking time clock where everyone needs to get out of all the soldiers, the 5 soldiers needs to get out of the area before Nomad destroys it. So by the time he gets out of it, I think Nomad has already like locked on and is starting to shoot down at it.
Yeah. So he gets her and escapes, and there's some banter in between. He's trying to talk to her, but she speaks Chinese or something, and I think his translator thing has got fucked up or something. He's having trouble communicating. Um, is it that point that she starts speaking English for some reason?
I don't think it's
Or is that a little
till a
later?
little later on because they find a house, like this little village house where he has his buddy, the guy who unlocked the room. He's like shot to shit and he's like barely alive. So he's like carrying that guy and um and walking with Alfie, and they find this little village in this field. And at that point, I don't think she's speaking English yet because he's like trying to communicate, the complexity of death. And he says like, "Oh, I'm just turning it off." I don't remember what it was, but oh, it's the TV or something. I'm just turning it off because she keeps wanting to watch TV in that little house. Um, and then they get raided by the police. This fucking like awesome like dome-headed police force that shows up to the
Yeah.
village. So that was kind of cool.
And we realize that she can control other robots, a la
Yeah.
Terminator 3.
Hmm.
You know, she's like, turns the TV back on. But she has to be very close because her powers are still growing, you know? And I don't know if they're implying that like she's gonna grow into like an adult too. I didn't quite understand that part. Um, but yeah, and the police come, and I remember there's like a right, they're getting away on those cool little ships, like the fucking Halo type landing vehicles
Hmm.
coming down. And I remember they're getting away, and there's a couple of times these grenades happen. There's like sticky grenades. Someone shoots someone in the
Oh
back.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, and then he gets on, and then they realize, "Doot, doot, doot,
Boop,
doot,
boop,
doot,
boop,
doot,
boop,
doot.
boop. Yeah.
Oh shit, no, get it off, get it off. Like one of the ship goes, pretty cool. I mean, graphically, this is impressive. I like all this looks really good. The ships, it's a really cool Blade Runner-esque future. Not as dirty or
Hmm.
as dingy as Blade Runner, but it's in that vein, I guess. The lived-in future. Um, yeah, it looked really good. All the robots look really good. Um, even the simulants where they, pull out CGI out part of your head and put in some robot stuff, that looks all really good. It's got a big budget, obviously.
Dude, it's
So,
insane that this was made for 80 million. It is in. I was just in awe the whole. I was like, God damn this! I mean, everyone talked about the Flash and how spotty that was. I think that movie was made for, I would imagine, 200 million, 300 million budget. This was 80, the fraction of that, and it looks like so much better. It does make them. It does mean the world when you actually go on location and shoot things. I understand that it's easier to just have your actors around a green screen room thing, and Disney uses I forget the technology they use it on Andor, but that looks pretty good. But it really does mean like everything when you actually go on location. It just, I don't know, it feels like a living, breathing world, not just an artificial, thing that you're watching.
yeah, and I could tell that everything they could do practical was like parts of
Mm-hmm.
ships, small vehicles that you can do practical were practical. Obviously, the big ships weren't and stuff like that, but I could tell like, oh yeah, that's a real little thing, and so
Mm-hmm.
that looked really good. Uh, and so basically now the movie shifts to him being with the girl on the run because well, he refused to turn her in
Yeah,
to the US because he wants to find his wife.
yeah,
And she knows like he shows her the photo of her and she's like, "Oh, mama" or something.
yeah. And she
So she's like,
draws
"Oh
the
no."
tattoo that
Oh
Maya
yeah, yeah,
has on the
yeah.
back of her neck. He's like, "Where did you see this?" Yeah.
The OCP tattoo. It
Mm.
looks like Omni Computer Products logo from
Yeah.
RoboCop. Where'd you see this OCP logo? Uh, yeah, so he's got her now, and that's all he cares about. So he's not turning her in, and so he's on the run, wanted, fugitive everywhere. Like, so by the U.S. and by the coalition of Asia because they want the robot back, and so it becomes that. And at some point, she starts speaking English. He's like, "Oh, you speak English now?"
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, you never asked." It's like a rush hour moment.
Yeah, I
And
couldn't tell if she was like been processing the language, like she's a, like very advanced technology, so maybe she's just like, you know, consuming English and so she learns, and that was my take on it, but it doesn't
yeah,
she doesn't explicitly say how she knows English, but
oh, and then what's her name? And then she's like gives off some a alphanumeric code A772183. He's like, yeah, we got to change that. You go. Your name is Alfie.
Yeah. Or it
Alfie.
was something silly. It was candy or something you like,
And
candy or
yeah,
something.
yeah. He's like, what do you like? Candy? Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah, we got to do something else. Alfie.
Oh hell no.
uh, yeah. So do. I can't remember their quest goes. Somehow they get some more information about where she might be, right?
Yeah, I think the events are they are trying to get to his friend, who works somewhere in the city. I don't remember what his job was, but it looked like it was like a manufacturing plant for AI. Um, and then we find out that his friend gave Joshua a ring when he was before he would go undercover and said, "Hey,
Oh yeah, yeah.
before you go undercover, use this ring, put it on her, and then we can track her at all times." And so I think they used that old tracking device for the ring to find out where Maya is. And then there's like an assault on the where Joshua and Alfie are by the cops, I think. Um, and then they use the tracker. They go back to the house that we begin at, where he was undercover, where the
Hmm.
raid happens, and it's all like blown to shit. And then the what's her name? Whatever the faction that is holding Maya shows up. Ken Watanabe shows up, shoots the friend, which I thought was kind of silly because the friend's like, as he's dying, something I never told you, bro. Maya is actually Armada.
One more
I'm
time.
like, why didn't you tell me this before? Like, why did we come all the way
That's
out here? You let me in this
that's
fucking
why
wild
we
goose chase.
that's why we had to blow your cover. As as we had to. It was her the whole time.
God damn
Well,
it.
apparently the or Nirmata, it was her father, but we find out like it's now her because he died.
Yeah.
It's like it can be passed down. Like Nirmata isn't necessarily the her person who created the AI because it's now her, and
Hmm.
theoretically it would be her child after that. And we also find out that like she made this Alfie, um, shows her like working on a obviously it's like can grow because she's working on like a fucking fetus in a like a Death Stranding thing. It's like in a little jar, and she's
Yeah.
like got little tools in there working on this little baby uh fetus in a womb, but it's got the hole in the head and it's a robot. Um,
Yeah, I forget who tells him. There's like a little exposition about Alfie. God, I wish I could remember who tells Joshua, but the idea is that Alfie will grow, and as it grows, it will get smarter to the point where it can just it can communicate with all technology and do whatever it wants with any technology throughout the world. I think that was the ultimate goal. But yeah, someone says that Alfie will grow. I was like, oh shit.
mhm. And oh, and he finds out that it was like based on the child that they lost. I don't
Hmm.
know how they lost the child. I guess she lost the child in an explosion, but she didn't die. And so he finds out it's like his daughter, I guess. But this guy's black and this kid looks very much just Asian. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Whatever. Let's roll with it, I guess. Um, yeah, and then where are they the final encounter takes place on the giant space station, right?
Yeah,
I
the
don't remember,
Nomad.
but
Yeah.
oh, it's on the Nomad.
Yeah, well, there's like two big action set pieces. There's like where the cops, um, the cops show up at this village, which is an awesome set piece. It was just like there's like a bridge, and there's like these fucking bombers, doof, 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 they like
Oh
run down this
yeah,
bridge.
those are
There's like this
sick.
whole action scene where the cops roll in with these huge tanks. That was fucking badass. And then from there, they they go to where God Nirmata is, or Maya is. This other village with this huge, base thing at the top of this mountain. And then that's when we kind of learn more information. And then the cops show up again, and then take Alfie, and uh, I think they beat up Joshua, or they knock him out or something.
Hmm. Um.
And then we
So
get to Nomad after that. Yeah.
by the time we're on Nomad, he's got a plan. He's got an explosives to put on there. He has to destroy Nomad because there's no way the AI can survive with it or something. And they're about to do their full scale assault on every remaining AI stronghold. They're just going to bomb them all in hopes to end it. And so they're up there. I can't remember the situation, right? There's something they're trying to like kill Alfie. He goes over there and whispers something to her, and so she, I don't remember. But then and they go back and look at the footage, and it's like, well, what did he say to her? Look at the footage, pull it up. And like, like literally minutes afterwards, they're like, all of a sudden want to check it out, and he's like, what do you say? It's like, stand by, not off.
Yeah, standby,
And
not off. Yeah.
so she pretended to be dead so she could wake up. And they find, or she finds, Alfie finds uh the simulant of the Maya on the ship. Or didn't she find the Oh yeah, we end up finding out the real Maya has been in a coma the whole time. Like
Yeah.
since the explosion, then when did she make this little embryo baby? Like the timeline seems a little strange. Like, did she make the embryo baby and then implant it in herself? And that was the baby? Because they said she's in this coma ever since the explosion.
Yeah.
I don't understand the timeline on when Alfie was
Yeah,
made.
I think that she was building Alfie while they were together, and he just didn't know. Because there is some dialogue somewhere in there where he was saying like, we both had our secrets, we both were doing things behind each other's backs, but we still loved each other, and yada. There was something along those lines that indicated that she had been working on Alfie while they were together. He just didn't know. It's
Yeah, so he finds out she's there at some robot AI
like a temple or
place.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a fucking Jedi temple. It's got the little lizards from like Last Jedi or whatever,
Hmm.
but the robots. And yeah, she's just hooked up to all this machinery and he's like, who's Alfie's like, wake her up. Uh stand by, or all this weird shit. And she's been there for like 5 years, and because they can't hurt humans.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to kill humans. And then they tell him that, the nuclear bombing was just a mistake. It was coded. So the humans code the robots and we just do it. It's coded and it was a mistake by humans and it wasn't our fault. And we're like,
Mhm.
oh
Like,
shit.
oh shit.
And so they can't kill humans. But it seems like they've been killing humans through this movie, as far as I remember. all the all the
At least the
cops are just
police can, yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
They're blasting people. So I don't know where the fuck all of a sudden the OCP 3 rules come into play. You
mhm.
know, never harm a human. Or then that's the what movie is that? The AI rules. That was
Is that
the
iRobot,
one.
the Will Smith one?
Yeah, it's iRobot. The three tenets.
Oh shit.
uh, um, yeah. So he's pulling a lot of stuff from a lot of these movies. It's pretty cool. And so yeah, unfortunately, we can't unplug her because we can't hurt a human. And he's like, "Oh shit, I can."
Yeah.
He's like,
Click.
this fucking flips the switch. He just flips it, and then she dies. Um, making I don't know, making the kid Nirmata. I don't know how it passed down after that, but point is, they got to go blow up the Nomad. They're going up there. Oh yeah, and right after, oh, there was a really cool scene where remember the one of the guys dies, but from the cop, and they have this thing where they can download your
Yeah.
brain.
That's cool.
but he'd been dead for a couple hours. Like, oh, he's been dead for a couple hours. It's only gonna last about 30 seconds. They download his brain, and then they pop the chip in to a robot. And so it's the dead guy's thoughts. What happened? It's like, calm down, you're dead. There's nothing we can do about it now. There's not much time. Where do they
Yeah.
go?
Where are they
And
going?
he's
Yeah.
freaking out, keeps looking over at his body, dude. And he's
Yeah.
like, tell my wife, fuck your wife.
Yeah.
God damn it. Stay focused.
20 seconds.
He's just
Yeah.
freaking out.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so they established that you have to be either alive or super freshly dead for this technique to work properly. And so they download Maya's they right after they unplug it. So now they got her on a chip. And so when they go up to the Nomad and she finds the Maya simulant, which I presume there's a lot of them because you see a couple
Yeah.
doubles. Like once you make one of that it's like Terminator. There's a
Yeah.
couple of the Arnolds running around. So they find her and they plug the chip in. And what it didn't work or something. I
Yeah, it
can't
didn't work
remember.
right away. I think Alfie's trying to reboot Maya, but it doesn't like because there's
Yeah.
like you gotta hurry up and destroy the ship before the missiles hit all the base. So that she's like doing stuff. So she kind of like runs away and leaves Maya's AI corpse there.
Yeah, with the chip in there.
It's gonna be like downloading or something. I don't know.
And then people are evacuating, shit's going down. I don't exactly remember what was happening. Like why was he stuck there? It's like something wrong with the door,
Yeah,
right? On
for
the
it's
escape
the escape pod. Yeah,
where he can't get in it. I don't know, it's malfunctioning and it's he's trying and she's trying. And then eventually I think he's just like fuck it. He's like, go. Yeah, you gotta go. You're gonna be on your own now. And then I don't remember. There's some dialogue there that we should remember because it was supposed to be really heartfut, but I don't
yeah.
remember.
The
It's
whole
like
hand on the
oh yeah, yeah,
glass.
yeah.
Yeah. That shit.
Hand on the glass.
I love you.
And then I love you. Uh and she says I love you. And then you get a really cool shot of
Yeah.
the classic uh docking shot where someone gets smaller just
Mm-hmm.
that was pretty good. And so he's like, oh fuck. He starts walking around the ship, just waiting to die. He's like walking, shit's blowing up. And he goes to the like it was like where they're growing crops, where the Maya replicant, I'm just replicant's a nicer word.
Yeah, yeah.
Simulant, where she was. And they see each other, Maya, Joshua. And then she like hated Joshua, though, when they
Yeah.
left. They left on such terrible terms, and it's not like she had a chance to change that because she was, but all's forgiven. She's and they run and hug. And what I want to know is like, why were you just like standing here in this field, motherfucker? You could have
Mm-hmm.
helped us. You could have done something. You're standing here. But anyways, they hug and embrace, and the thing blows up, and uh I think there's a little. Is there a little bit about how AI is now accepted or something, or does it just end right there?
Yeah, I think we get like some celebration from the ground of like see the nomad crash down and fire and everyone's like yeah, and then you see Alfie's pod just do 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 and then she gets out. I love that there's like little things that I love just from a visual standpoint, like because there's all these missiles going to these bases, right? And because they shut the nomad off, they malfunction. And you get this cool wide shot where you see this missile
Mm.
flying, there's just doom doom, and it's like fucking massive, and it's just like rolling across the field. I was like, that was pretty cool.
Like it can't just blow up on its own.
Yeah.
Like without the nomad, it's worthless. It's still a
Mhm.
missile.
Yeah.
I feel like it blow up when it hits the ground. Yeah, but it just fucking. It's
Dum,
like the
dum,
size of a
dum.
fucking train.
Yeah, it's huge.
Uh, yeah, that's about it.
And Alfie gets out of the pod, looks up, and smiles. Cut to black.
Dun, 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 dun. Yum, yum. Shit's falling in the background. And then you
Yep.
see the force ghost of the mom and dad. Right on. Um, yeah, it sucks that this movie probably won't do that well in this climate because I really liked it. This thing was pretty cool, man. It's, we don't get very many good original sci-fi movies.
Yeah,
It's got interesting things, twists throughout it, and it's just like you want to know more about all this world. Like you could do a couple movies in
totally.
this
Yeah,
universe easily. You just want to know more. Everything was engaging, even though it wasn't like overly exciting. It's just interesting, and you wanted to know a little more, so you're on the ride the whole time, even if it's not like what you might think a movie like this would be, like just nonstop explosions and stuff. There's a lot of mellower parts that still keep you engaged. It does have the big explosions and stuff though. Um, but just a good um unique sci-fi movie written by the guy who's directing it. It just doesn't really happen anymore.
yeah.
And it's so cool and refreshing and old school and reminded me of all the great sci-fi movies of the past that we enjoy. I think this is probably going to be looked upon as one of those. Maybe someday. We'll see. Time will tell. Um, but yeah, I thought it was just amazing, fun, visually looked awesome. And it had some heart and punch. Like, what's good when at the end, the two, main characters die. We're not looking
Mhm.
for the happy ending bullshit. That's not how life goes. The fucking main dudes die. The kid grows up alone. That's a cold AI world we live in. And it was pretty cool. Refreshing. Most people are afraid to end movies like that anymore. Um, so I really liked it. Oh, 8.5.
Nice.
8.5.
Yeah, I'm basically just going to echo and agree with what you just said. I mean, from a visual standpoint, it's just incredible. It does remind me of like old Cameron stuff, practical effects, with visual effects on location. Some awesome ideas, a lot of Blade Runner in there, a lot of Blade Runner 2049. Just cool sci-fi stuff that we just don't get a lot of, and unique ideas like swapping brain memories to swapping into AIs, and there's a lot of like cool AI stuff in here, and ideas and themes about how we as a society think about AI and all that. I think landed well with me. But I would say that the visuals and world building did a lot of heavy lifting. I will admit that the emotional core of the movie didn't quite land with me as maybe the movie wanted me to. I feel like I could have done more with Joshua and Alfie's relationship. I feel like the relationship kind of gets sidelined for a lot of the movie, where something like something similar like Logan or Last of Us, where like those properties spend a lot of time with those two characters, so that when we get to the end, it's a very emotional thing. Well, The Last of Us
Yeah.
is not really emotional, but I just felt like the goodbye scene didn't hit me as much as maybe the movie wanted me to. It is sad, but I wasn't just like, oh my god. And I kind of wanted it to, like, I wanted to be in that moment and just, get the eyes welling up, but it just didn't. I was just like, I just wish we spent more time with them. Um, so I thought that was pretty unfortunate. But like I said, the visuals and world building are just off the charts for an 80 million budget movie, and the action set pieces are incredible. The one that I already talked about, where the cops raid that village, and there's like this bridge sequence where Ken Watanabe is trying to protect, and all these cool ideas. The nomad set piece is really fun. Um, I love this. I love when they're supposed to take a plane to the moon, which is like we didn't. That's just a cool little thing they slid in there that we're on the moon, or you can take a plane to the moon now. But Alfie like takes over it through her little AI
Yeah,
control
that
thing, and that
that
was pretty
scene was
cool.
also to me very Total Recall.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to get him at like the spaceport. It's very
Hmm.
Total Recall. She's trying to get on a shuttle to the moon. It's
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
And I love the. I know we already said this, but just to reiterate, I love the idea of the Nomad, like this fucking massive ship that just like hovers over the new Asia, but this fucking hologram, haunting hologram thing that like destroys. I thought that was a cool idea, and I love the first time you see it. I think the film opens. It's like this wide shot of a beach. You see the water come in, and out of nowhere, like 50
Oh,
troops
yeah.
just come out of the water with lights, and then you see this hologram in the background. I'm like, what the? This is weird and cool. I love this. So yeah, I mean, I can't stress enough how visually amazing this movie is. But again, I think the emotional stuff didn't quite work with me. It didn't really land with me that much. So for me, I think it's just a solid 8. I think people should go watch it. It's very fun. A lot of cool ideas that you don't really see, and yeah, man, it was great. I liked it. 8.
8.5 and an 8. All right, man, go check it out in theaters now. If you could tear your ass away from Paw Patrol for a second,
Yeah.
uh, you got this. And if you tear your ass away from Star X, it's about family.
Yeah.
Star X. Then go check it out. As always, we appreciate having you. You can always check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and we're always here on YouTube. We love having you come by. We seriously appreciate it. Please like and subscribe and come hang out with us every Sunday. And until the next piece, we're going to say peace.
Peace.